All right, it's a TWA2K Sports Report. All right, everybody, here to wax poetic about the sports topics that are hot right now. Truth be told, it's a rather dead time for sports as we have the middle of the NBA and the middle of the NHL seasons, and it couldn't be more pointless. There's way too many games in both the NBA and NHL that it renders basically everything up until like the last couple weeks absolutely pointless. And I guess there's something to be said about making each game meaningful, and that the schedules in both hockey and basketball are rendered meaningless by having so many different games that you need to play. Like you do not need to play 82 games to figure out which is the best team to be the number 1 through 8 seeds in both conferences. And I know that that opinion will be muddled heavily because it would reduce the amount of advertising revenue and revenue from the stations broadcasting the sporting events. And I know it's kind of a out there take to have, but it also happens to be true. The beauty of the NFL is that they only have 16 games, and you can't take a single game off. You can't just chill. It's now or never, and literally every single game matters and is meaningful for something. Even the last game of the regular season for like the Philadelphia Eagles, even the fact that the thing that was so upsetting about it, what Peterson did there, was that he could have tried to win and figured out a lot about Jalen Hurts in just that one game, and see how he is reacting and responding. Washington is an elite defense, and for him to go up against them and figure out what he's all about, like is something that's important. It's important to figure out, and you just wasted an opportunity to figure out who Jalen Hurts is and how he reacts in very pivotal and meaningful situations. And that was the most egregious part about what Peterson chose to do on that day. Like, is moving up a couple spots in the draft really worth seeing if Hurts is your guy or not? Like that's or at least giving him one opportunity to shine and give you a reason. Now you just benched him. Okay, let's play it out like this. Let's say he goes and beats the football team in a convincing way that makes you think this kid can ball under pressure. So you figure that out, and you don't need to go get a quarterback right now. Right now, now you don't know. Now you don't know if you don't need to go get a quarterback or not. If you don't need to spend that high draft capital on a quarterback or not. And you could have figured it out, but you didn't. And all of that what happened with Philly was a symptom of whiffing on their past 3 years draft picks. Absolute fucking whiffing on their draft picks. And they wouldn't have needed to care so much about moving up a couple spots in the draft if they had actually had better drafting results. And they could have avoided. But just because you could have drafted better doesn't mean you should do what you did and tank and not figure out what Jalen Hurts is capable of, and it's just a wrong move. It's trying to overcompensate for prior mistakes, and I do not think it was the right thing to do. All right, so I want to take a quick huddle here. Let's huddle around. Huddle. Okay. All right, guys. When you say it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good, I don't get it. Is fame supposed to be synonymous with great? Even people, while they're saying it, they stutter and they barely can get it out because they're, wait, what's the fun? I was like, it's the Hall of Fame. It's like not the Hall of Very Good. You're saying it like fame is synonymous with greatness. Fame is not synonymous with greatness, as we can clearly see by a quick perusal of the Billboard top charts. And definitely the things that are the most famous are not necessarily great, and usually it's the complete opposite. So that's a quick huddle up. I'm huddling with all you sports broadcasters and commentators. So stop saying it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. If you're gonna say something that's kind of cutesy, fucking phrasey, here's what you say. You say it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Tame, right? Because that actually works. It actually makes sense within the context of what you're trying to say. You basically, the phrase "it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good," basically disproves itself inside of the saying. So please, you guys need to stop saying this. It makes jocks look more stupid than they need to be. And well, this is something to review since our last podcast, our last sports report. I'm 4 figures richer thanks to Sir Tom Brady and his relentless pursuit at greatness. Pretty happy with the results of that. I didn't end up hedging, so I was even more happy with that. And even what I said about the match kind of played out according to what I felt. I felt like Tampa's D-line would be able to get the needed pressure against Mahomes, and their defense would step up, and Brady will do Brady-like things, and I felt good about that. I felt good about not taking the hedge, about as good as you could possibly feel about not taking a hedge, and besides that, the value wasn't really there for the hedge anyways. But there's been times where the value hasn't been there, but I took the hedge, like the Atlanta Falcons. Again, I had them at 20-1 again, but I ended up hedging that time because, you're up against fucking Tom Brady. Now, the thing, I don't want to wax poetic too much about Brady. Everything that I can say will already have been said about him and what he's done. But and I did a little bit in that prior episode. But there's one thing that I think many people are overlooking, and that's the following: is that Brady helps his team by not over demanding money, and I think he would go to if all the cards are on the table, I think Brady would take less money to go to a better situation. Excuse me. He would take less money to go to a better situation, and he would be willing to do that more than any other person, and hit the realistic expectations he has for himself, and is just outstanding, and that's going to be an underlooked thing where all these quarterbacks are signing these super huge deals. Well, that's coming at an expense. Like, even like you noticed with Mahomes, like, okay, a lot of that was they weren't healthy at the time, but it's a lot of money to spend on a quarterback. And like Brady's taking discounts and winning fucking Lombardis. Okay? And so if you're Rodgers and Wilson, you need to take note about this, cuz say you hack $10 million a year off of your contract, which is already huge, like $35 million, $40 million, hack $10 million off that. With that $10 million, you can get a guy like $10 million a year is Shaq Lawson. $10 million a year is Logan Ryan. $10 million a year is Eric Kendricks. Having just one of those guys at $10 million a year, think about how much that increases your probability of winning a Super Bowl, because it does a lot. And Brady has a deep understanding of this, and a deep understanding about, okay, I'm taking a pay cut, but, at the end of the day, I got Dean, I got Barrett, I got Sue, I got Vita Vea, like, I got these guys in the trenches that can fuck shit up, and I got a defense that can hold it down, right? That's like, if you're Rodgers or Wilson and your concern is winning Lombardis for your legacy, you need to look at it other than, okay, how much am I getting? You need to have a different frame of mind, saying, except just saying, okay, where's a place that's going to pay me the highest? Because even if they have everything in place that year, that it might only be 1 year, and your window to win might have been there. And even if you're saying, for the $10 million you save, even if you pick up two $5 million players, that's Ed Oliver and Devin Bush. Aaron Rodgers, you're saying Green Bay wouldn't have a better chance at winning if instead of you getting $35 million, you got $25 million, and you had Ed Oliver and Devin Bush. You're saying you wouldn't have a better chance at winning? Get out of here. You would have a much better chance of winning with those two players. And Brady's greatness is directly tied to his to not taking more than he needs. And utilizing the discount that he gives a team to buy the right assets. And that's why he got pissed with New England. Because they didn't have the fucking assets to show for him taking the pay cut. And he did with Tampa, and it fucking worked. And all these other QBs fucking take note. You want to be a legend. You want Lombardis, not a Lombardi. Fucking take note. And that's all I'll have to say on that. So, also, since we've in the UFC world, man, boy, did that Marquez guy, he has worse closing game than Fernando Rodney, I think. Man, boy did he buggle that one up. He had that in the bag, and then just, what was he thinking with that following tweet, man? It's like, I could I'm not super attracted to Miley Cyrus, but I mean, I can understand if you are, but like, I think he is, but if you are, then why would that be your response after she's saying, "Hey, what's up?" Like, she's a huge star, and you're a fighter on, like, you could be like any fighter on a card, and she just so happens to notice you, and that's your response, bro. You have to have better closing game than that. That was unfortunate. But how about the Black Beast? Hey, how about Derek Lewis, man? Like, and that was an incredible fight. That was an incredible performance. I was on Lewis, and I did not understand why the odds were the way they were. Lewis showed incredible development through his way, and just because the record wasn't what it said it was, I thought that was a very bad valuation of of what could have happened. I think people just blindly looked at the record, and I will say something about how that went for Lewis versus Blades. When Blades was going in for takedowns, and Lewis was cocking that uppercut and having that uppercut ready, this is what fighters are missing, or what strikers and boxers are missing from their game when they step inside the octagon, okay? They are missing that takedown defense. You think Lewis was punishing him for coming down in there. He was punishing him, and that is what you have to do. You cannot let them take you down. And if they are going to take you down, you have to make sure you have some sort of knee, some sort of uppercut, some sort of counter, so that when they're going down on you, they might take you down, but they're going to get hurt. And that's what a lot of fighters are missing in their game right now, is that pack of powerful, like uppercut or hook or knee, and you do two of those. When he came in for the knockout, he was coming in soft. He got tagged when he went in for a couple takedowns, and Lewis made him fucking pay. And when he was coming in soft, and Lewis was able to time it up just right, and he was out right then and there. Incredible performance by Black Beast there, by Lewis. That was textbook as a striker, how to mitigate the wrestling disadvantage that you have. That was textbook defense. So that was good. That was interesting to watch. So the fight so far, Usman crushing it. A lot of not a lot of really great matches, but I think at the top of most divisions, it seems like it's a little more competitive instead of just one guy dominating, which is always great. It's great. It's better to watch that than when there's one guy who's just sitting there just crushing everybody. It's nice to have parity. It's nice to have be able to say styles make fights and have it kind of play out like that, instead of just watching somebody get dominated. Now, the other thing I wanted to go over for the sports report. This is going to be a shorter sports report, since there's not much sports to report. So there's the poker challenges that are happening lately. Negreanu just finished up his matchup versus Doug Polk, in which Negreanu lost, but that was expected. I did not have money on Negreanu or Polk. I didn't really bet it. I thought the value was kind of a little out of whack. It should have been. I think you should have had greater odds for Negreanu, and I wasn't really willing to lay. That was a huge price to lay for Polk, when Negreanu could have pulled it off, actually, and I thought that Negreanu's style and the way he was playing later in the match, if he had done that all the way through, that it would have been to his benefit. But I thought he learned a lot through the course of the match, and started looking better. And then maybe if he wasn't in such a hole from like the first half, that he could have clawed back and made it made a sort of Galfont-esque comeback. But now So I think like Negreanu carrying this over to the next match will definitely help him. So after Negreanu lost, I guess Helmuth probably had money on him and was chirping Negreanu a little, and Negreanu took exception to that, and now I guess there's going to be a Negreanu versus Helmuth heads up X amount of hands kind of tournament challenge happening. And doing a quick preview of it, they're saying Negreanu would be minus 250 and Helmuth plus 170. And what do I think on that? I think I'd be willing to lay with Negreanu if the price stays relatively the same or gets a little better. We'll see how the money comes in, and if there's some money hammering Helmuth, which there very well could be. I think a lot of people see Helmuth and having success in heads up field will find value in hammering Helmuth. Maybe it could get down to plus 150 Helmuth, and Negreanu get like plus 225, maybe closer to, minus 225, maybe closer to minus 200 range. And I think that would be a price I would be willing to lay to take Negreanu. I think what Negreanu learned from the Polk will really help him in this match versus Helmuth. And good on Negreanu if he was willing to, if that was his plan in the end, was like he was willing to drag his name in the shit for because he knew Polk was like so much better, and then learn what he needed to learn from that match, and then start implementing GTO and other strategies similarly to Polk in order to beat these other guys, like Helmuth, Mattisau, Esfandiari, etc. If he's willing to do that, then that'd be interesting. I think Negreanu might be able to. I think versus Helmuth, he should be able to pull off. Like if you're playing 20,000 hands versus Helmuth, who's a little bit of a firecracker at the poker table, I would think that Negreanu, slow and steady, will win the race there versus Helmuth, and so I'll be looking to bet that. It's interesting. Hopefully they find a way to be able to show the hole cards in these games, right? Like I think these matchups are interesting, but it's not like when you're watching like WSOP or something and the whole cards. I think it takes away a little bit of what we're used to, and we're used to being so privileged where we were able to see the whole cards. But I think it would be a lot more popular if that were the case. But regardless, I mean, having these super long matchups, I don't think it really makes for good TV, like over the internet. Like it's okay. I think don't get me wrong, I think it's a true test of who's the better heads up player. I think that's like a good way to measure it, is playing 5,000, 10,000 hands, because it just the more hands you play and commit to, like the less likely a result is luck based.